How's it going, guys? Chris back here again with some more Skyrim Special Edition. We're still here with Parsnips.
Greetings. Croesus.
You can help us find an Elder Scroll.
I know little of what has passed below in the long years I have lived here. You are likely better informed than I.
Is that true, Parsnips?
Trust your instincts, Dovahkiin. Your blood will But no, I meditate on... No, contemplate. Will I teach you, Dovahkiin?
So,
what word calls you to deeper understanding?
One of the good things about Parsnips is that you can choose one of these three words.
Fus, Fime, and Yol.
And it'll make the shout that's attached to the word stronger.
It is called... Think of... That is Fus. Let its meaning fill you. Sum arc...
There's only one.
You will push the world harder than it pushes back.
Only one. You can have only one at a time, that's what I'm trying to say. Losing my mind. So we want to go talk to old Urag over at the college. Now, Urag is a decent sword. We've talked to him before. We talked to him when we were doing service. I thought he was the other guy. Him and Arniel Gang have a
we could blow up half of
semi-close look to
people
one
would
another.
still come to us for a chat mess.
So I sometimes get him mixed up, but old Arniel Gain is gone. Like, he is gone, so he shouldn't appear. But there have been rare cases in Skyrim where characters who are
all this knowledge might
supposed to
have
be
been
gone
and what do you plan to do with
will
it?
reappear.
Do you even know what you think that it would be kept
It's
under the highest
particularly-
security? The greatest thief in the... I don't know who told... I'll bring her... So don't get your hopes up. It's mostly lies, leavened with rumor and conjecture. All right, then.
Almost like, okay. Yeah, what was I saying?
Here you go. Try not to spill anything on them.
Ruminations of the Elder Scrolls. This is the one, Septimus Sickness.
I don't care if you wrote it yourself. He's the one. He's been gone for a long while. Somewhere up north. He said he found... haven't heard from him since.
Alright, we go look for Septimus Sickness. Yeah, I don't know how much longer the Skyrim series is going to continue. Because I've been having fun with it, but, it was one of the things where it was just after Morrowind, so I kind of wanted to jump into another Elder Scrolls game. And I kind of set a pretty big goal for myself. Like reaching level 81, killing the Ebony Warrior, and finishing off the quest lines. That's a pretty sizable goal. And that said, we finished a sizable chunk of the quest lines already. So it's not as though we haven't made any progress with our goal. It might end up being like the Melania questline where the story gets shelved for a later time. I did end up defeating Melania, but I didn't end up defeating her on my primary character. I ended up going into the game selecting my primary character. Dawnfang is just as powerful as I remember it being. Dawnfang was like my primary weapon in Oblivion. So I would always do Oblivion in a certain way because Oblivion's weird in that it's like Skyrim, where you can do a lot of the quests. Oh my god, that is a glitch. Scary stuff right there. But Oblivion's kind of like Skyrim in that you can do most of the quest lines without having to be involved in the whatever guild is skill set is actually there. Because like Morrowind, you join the Thief Guild and you don't have any thief skills, you're not going to make it very far. They're going to say come back when you're a higher level, and you're never going to reach that level because you're never going to improve those skills. You can do it like in a metagame way, where if you know you want to join the Thief Guild and you're like a mage, you can go train up the Thief skills and then progress in the guild that way. Like that's possible, but in Skyrim and Oblivion, that's not really an issue. Like there are still skill caps in Oblivion, but they're not as hard or difficult to get up to. They're a little more forgiving. So in Oblivion, there's a fame and infamy system that's kind of like some of the. It's the main limitation that survived from Morrowind.
When the top level was the I know of one.
Do you know?
Forgotten. But I cannot go to it, not poor Septimus, for I have a here. Well, on the cosmological scale, one block lifts in the depths. Have you heard of Black Reef under deep of Tan? But not all. Two things. The round one for the edged lexicon.
Weird, I talk over Urag, but when as soon as the crazy guy comes
to
up,
us a hunk of metal. To the Dwem, fine Mazark and its sky dome. The machination. Trust Septimus. He knows.
yeah, as soon as the crazy guy starts talking, we start listening, right? That's a really cool thing. I wish there was more of them in Skyrim, more of this kind of structure, but to make the main quest cool, having it be unique is kind of awesome too. Yeah, so I was talking about my Oblivion orderings. So generally, with Oblivion, I will put I'll do the quest lines or the guilds that involve infamy first. And then I'll work on the quest lines that improve fame. And the reason for that is because of one guild in particular that's one of the DLC guilds. You get like the Knights of the Nine armor, and in order to actually wear it and use it, you have to be within good standing, right? So you can't you can't be like a murderer or ouch. I summoned my chest in front of him. Wow. He's standing on it. Yeah, I thought I had a bunch of lockpicks. I just left them at Delphine's house. Okay, so we should probably take the painting, right? The paintings are necessary. So this chest has a lot of good things in it. We're gonna take like all three of that. Alright, so we want to go to a ruin around here, right? Yeah, this one here. Apparently I have enemies around. Hello, enemy. explode skeleton. So it still consumes souls even if I don't kill the item, the enemy with Donfang. This is an Akaviri sword, which we talked about the Akaviri a little bit last time around. This isn't probably not an Akaviri sword of human make. It's probably an Akaviri sword like lizard men make. Because there are a race of lizard people in Akavir. They're not like the they're not like the Argonians that you find in Tamriel. God, I forgot the name of Tamriel for a moment. They're more like the I should have just followed my instincts. We went the wrong way. Yeah, we just need to go south. North. We need to go north. Oh god. Yeah, so one game that I've been eyeing up for the channel for a while that I really want to do is Dragon's Dogma. That is on my list of things to do. And it's a really, really good game. I really enjoy it. It's more like a traditional JRPG as opposed to like the RPGs that you've been playing on the channel, which are mostly Western RPGs. Like the Elder Scrolls, Fallout, that kind of stuff. They're all Western RPGs. Dragon's Dogma is Japanese. It was a fairly popular game. It was like came out a year after Skyrim. It was kind of, it wasn't PlayStation exclusive, but it definitely got more marketing for PlayStation because it was it was published by, it was originally published for the PlayStation, right? And it's just a really cool game. Main goal, kill a dragon. Just one. There are a couple others. Well, there are 2 dragons and then wyverns, which are not dragons, but close to dragons, you know? The dragons in Skyrim are wyverns, because they don't have 4 legs. In order to be a dragon, you need 4 legs. Wyverns are 2-legged with wings. In most depictions of dragons these days are wyverns, even though technically 2 different mythical creatures. This is actually kind of cool. Don't remember that being a feature. There's a skooma attic down here. Somewhere. You shouldn't be too far away. Alright, that's a shortcut. We haven't unlocked yet. It's weird to me that there are multiple shortcuts in this dungeon, because it's a shortcut from a lower level right back there, and then there's a shortcut from, well, we'll see, right? Because we're gonna go to a place that's not well loved.
Another of the smooth skin.
Oh my god, the spiders are here. Gotta help me. Alright, here we go. His name is Jadar. Another. God, they're brutal. I don't know how well this sword works, because it feels like it's not working. Donfang? Defeating it's supposed to make it grow stronger. In Oblivion, I think it was like 10 souls. If you killed 10 people with it, it would transform into a superior version of itself. the superior version was real good. But what was like the nail in the coffin, making it the best weapon in Oblivion, was the fact that when it transformed into a new item, and the developers didn't really flesh out the concept as well as they probably wanted to, because the result of it transforming was that it got a full recharge basically. So the result was it repaired its own health as a weapon, which is kind of insane for a weapon to do that, right? And the fact that it repaired its own health meant that you never really had to repair it yourself. So you could basically opt out of the repair system, which, honestly, I don't mind repair systems in the game. Like, my favorite Dark Souls game, Dark Souls 2, still has a mandatory repair feature. And my favorite Elder Scrolls game, Morrowind, not Skyrim, you're playing it and does not have that feature. Morrowind has a repair feature to it, right? The reason I'm not as fond of it in Oblivion is because the repair feature in Oblivion is isn't balanced. It's balanced, but it's not like, it's a little rougher than what you see in Morrowind. Like, in Morrowind you have items with thousands of hit points before they got a repair, right? And even some of the low-end stuff has between 300 and 600 hit points before it has to be repaired. So you can get a lot of effort out of some of the items, but in Oblivion you have a couple of items that have decent repair, but that's generally it. And like, most items will break really quickly. And so either you learn how to use repair for yourself, or you basically have to pay a crap ton of money to get everything repaired so often that it's a bit on the side of tedium, right? It's like, I don't know, I think there's a good medium, and I think that Oblivion's just a little too far in the punching aspects, as opposed to other systems where it's still there, but it's not a big issue. Honestly, in Oblivion, it's kind of, can you carry enough weapon to get through a dungeon, as opposed to, will my weapon actually take me through a dungeon? A lot of the time, it won't, right? You're going to be able to go through a portion of a dungeon with your primary weapon, and then you're going to have to go through a portion with like a secondary worst weapon, and then another portion with a third worst weapon. I don't know if the problem is actually... I'm dead. I don't know if the problem is actually like the weapon system. It might just be because everybody in Oblivion is so spongy.
Excuse me, mate.
Because Oblivion is one of the spongier... It is one of the spongier games in the series. walking through the fire. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if enemies had more reasonable health pools, it'd be okay. Like, I feel like a tanky health pool RPG is a good thing in some aspects, but it's not like a good thing in other aspects. Like Dragon's Dogma, it's like big enemies are really, really tanky. But that's because they're like bosses out in the world, right? It's like you'd expect a boss to be really, really tanky. As a result, they have a lot of health pools. But that's enjoyable because it feels like you've earned a victory against a really, really hard foe. Whereas with Oblivion, if a bandit, like your run-of-the-mill bandit, takes 20 hits because I'm level 40, that's not really fun, right? I mean, Skyrim also suffers from that in some aspects because it's still the same leveling system, right? It's organic, or like a progressive leveling system where as you get stronger, the enemies in the world get stronger. But at the same time, like the balancing in ouch. You could just run past them all. The balancing in Skyrim isn't
Excuse me, my friend.
isn't as level dependent, right? In Oblivion, it feels like they went through it and purposefully captured damage at certain points. Here we go, these guys. They should die up here anyways. How sad. Actually, this should make it easier since we're in Falmer territory now. Nope, nap time. Yeah, honestly, I have like a nostalgia attachment to like Elder Scrolls games. So Morrowind and Skyrim, they're probably still closest to being my favorite RPGs. Morrowind is without a doubt ahead, but Skyrim is in its own right a decent game. Like, I'm not knocking Skyrim. Skyrim is good. That's why there have been like 99 versions of the damn thing. Like, it's a good game. I'm gonna go, how did you get down here? You guys stop. Did Inigo cheat his way through the shortcut? He did, didn't he? bless him. Stay down. Now this. Get back up. It's dangerous, friend. Stay down. Why lunge for it, man? I might have got myself turned around. I might not have. Ooh, dusk. Yeah, I did. Actually, I should probably just put dusk in my left hand. So it doesn't count if you kill him with another sword. How is the damage on Dusk? So it's 21 to 47. Wow. Goldbrand is amazing. To be fair, it always was amazing. Like if you were a swordsman in Morrowind, Goldbrand and its Easter egg version Eltonbrand were like were the like in-game weapon for like a swordsman. It was the best you could get, barring any wacky custom blades you make for yourself, right? Because you could make cooler custom blades, probably. I don't know offhand. Here we go. Hello. Where's the last one? There you are. 3 souls. Yeah, I imagine that this sword would actually be really good for the Civil War quest line. There are just a lot of enemies now. Ouch. No. It's not the best view we're gonna see though, Inigo, so don't get too impressed. Oh, right, you. Yeah, my cheese trick does not work on you. I guess we're gonna have to go full. So that gets us a key to the lift. The lift gets us over to the crazies. So let's equip that thing again. And our right hand will get paralyzed back.
Son, let's just get out of here. Hasn't there been enough death?
Of course, you want me to leave. Just waiting for me to turn my back. So you can have all the
So
glory
probably a
for
quest
yourself.
at some point to choose a side here.
Found you.
But they both become hostage. Man. You guys really have no chance. Now, off of her, we want the Targe of Blood because it's a unique item. I don't think he carries any others. We're here for this here. We actually already have access to one of these. We could have gone back to the Ralpha Bar, Deep Market one, and we could have just put our board in that one, and that would have opened up Black Ridge too. But this is how you're supposed to get there in the story. That's why I always tend to come back here for it. This is the only real quest to work with, though. Yeah, that's supposed to kill the Centurion, but the Centurion is always asleep. So. Damn, Centurion, you strong. You got hands, man. Worried there for a moment. So this is Black Reach. It's a really cool place. It's actually one of the most unique locations in all of Skyrim, right? But honestly, Journal of Sindarin is what we're looking for. There we go. Our man Sindarin, he's collected Crimson Nirnroot, which is it was a quest I actually talked about fairly recently in the playthrough where hey there, Night Prowler. I want to see how much damage. Not enough, huh? Need to run. In it go. One of these basins has some, yeah, there it is. We have to find 30 of these, which is a really, really big ask. There are only like 40 in total in all of Blackreach, which is generally why it's such a big ask. So while this place is really cool and really interesting as a location, in like the base game, it's not all that exciting if I'm being honest. Like there are a bunch of little like random encounters that you can involve yourself in, but there's no like there's no real amazing treasure. I mean, that's the problem, right? You want there to be some kind of really cool treasure to be found here. The only thing that's really found here is the Elder Scroll we're looking for, which is, it's cool, right? But I'm only using that for the main quest. It is an accessory to progression. It's not a reward. And there's some like cool Easter eggy stuff going on around here, which we can show off, right? Because I doubt we're gonna make our way back here anytime soon. So first we'll take like the main keep area, and I'll have Arniel Shade help me out with that because we haven't had him on the channel for a while. But this place is, despite being, a bit of letdown and like treasure, it's like really interesting as far as like lore and world building goes. You'll notice that the Fulmer have servants here. And the Fulmer servants here are people from the surface who were kidnapped in their youth and turned into servants, right? Now you'll notice that don't really know for sure, but it's definitely one of those elven culture things going on, right? Because in Morrowind, you saw like the Dunmer practice slavery, and we don't know if the Falmer did. They were alive during an era where slavery was more common, so they might have, but we see at the very least that the Falmer are like redeveloping into a unique culture. And while it may not be reflective of their culture as it was before they became the Falmer of today, it is interesting in speculation as to like other early elven cultures, because they're basically restarting, right? And you see here that they're repurposing the Dwemer ruins. They're collecting workers from the surface, so there's like a form of tribalism going on where back inside, where there's a need for people to actually start rebuilding things, right? And it appears we're just gonna keep up until I find what I'm looking for, which is over here. Is this over here? No, this isn't over here. I don't want to be here. What I want is to go up there. Shout it at the wall. There is a way to go where I'm looking for, but I think it's over there. it's not over there. Well, where is it then? Is it actually that pumping station? And I'm being, or is this the wrong room? It might just be the wrong room. I'm gonna go up to the pumping station. I think the pumping station is how you get in this area. Yeah, no, we're just in the wrong building. That's it. That building is not connected to anything, so it's not what we were looking for. The debate parlor. We want this one. The Hall of Rumination.
Over here!
So one of the immersion breaking aspects of this area is that the servants speak in Altmaris, right? You speak in the normal Tamrielic dialect speech. Right, you need a lever, that lever over there. Even though the door says you can open it, you can't. It's not a Dwemer lever either. Maybe. Yeah. So we're going up top. That's our goal. Back into Blackreach. But the guy we're looking for is right up here. The Warmonger. And I want to kill him in such a way that he doesn't just fly off into nothing.
Are you male or female? It is hard to tell.
In case he has anything good on him. Nope. Wretched Geary Chess. Okay. I don't know how to open that. I wish it did, though. You see, I thought that they'd put something interesting and weird here, because in the base game, there's nothing here. And that's like, you found your way to the seat of an ancient king, and at his throne, you find nothing. Nothing at all. Yeah, like the Crimson Nirnroot is the best thing you can find up here in the base game, which is a little disappointing. Although you can get a good look at the artificial sun of Blackreach,
This cavern is immense.
which is kind of cool in its own regard.
What?
And that's what we were looking for. So if you're only looking for this orb, you can summon a dragon. Pretty powerful dragon, too. Like, he's the match of some of the elder dragons you fight in the game. And we gotta go and face him. There's a lot of really interesting things to do in Blackreach. It's just unfortunate that it's not as refined as it could be, right? Because it definitely has potential as being one of the coolest locations. And in all rights, it probably is. But honestly, I probably give the Veil
Did you hear something?
a higher rating, because the Veil is, it's also one of a kind, but it's also just, a more interesting, or more sparsely utilize culture in Elder Scrolls lore, right? Like, if you want to learn about the Dwemer, you can do it without ever finding Blackreach. Like, they have ruins in most of the games. So this guy's name means Slain Tyrant Overlord, which is really badass. I always kill him, and he's another enemy where it feels like you should go for killing this powerful dragon that is a like an Easter egg. But you don't. It's just sad. He's also a bit limited in what he can do, right? Because this ceiling, they didn't work it out to where he could just fly around. Have digested carrying key. Well, looks like I know what I'm doing.
Maybe we should hit that big orange globe up there or something.
We did, Inigo. We did. And I found something cool. That's the building I want. And this is one of the coolest parts of any Elder Scrolls game. When you find something, realize you can't access it, and then later on you find a way to get to it. That is the dopamine that the Elder Scrolls series survives on, right? Sith's legs. Do more damage with bows while sneaking. You can move faster and breathe underwater. You are slightly more protected when running. Aha. What? Do I have to amputate my legs? For this. Jury's still out on that. I don't have feet, man. What has happened? I have no clue what's happened. I was looking for a good reward, not amputating my feet. Same time, though. It is extremely cool that there is some kind of reward for, actually killing the dragon and finding the weathered chest, right? Like, that's really neat. There's another place around here that I want to check out. It's just weird, and generally there's nothing to do with it, but maybe there might be something to do with it. I don't know, it kind of reminds me of, like way back in the day, way before I even started playing Dark Souls, there was an item in Dark Souls called the Pendant. And nobody really knew what it did, but you could give us a starting gift, and they were like, it's got to do something, right? And it never... Oh my god. Magical chest. Magical chest. Dwemer compass. There's so many goodies in here. Oh, it's very cool. I like it. So when you sit on this chair, blades come up and eviscerate you. Which is kind of neat sometimes, but it's not really what I'm looking for. Normally there's nothing in here either. It's just a, just an empty room, which is my biggest complaint with the, with Blackreach's location is that it's really, really cool. But it's a bit sparse, right? Like, this is clearly the seat of Dwemer power in Skyrim. Like, there's nowhere in the series, or nowhere in Skyrim that, comes close to as being as, like, magnificent of a Dwemer location. And it's not really that magnificent, right? It's just a keep in the middle of a large cavern. Like, that's not really anything to brag too much about, but in terms of scale, like, it's a city that, from the look of it and from, like, the lore standpoint, would have been on par with the old of Skyrim. So it's like a big, really big, important deal for the Dwemer. Yet you never find anything in the location to indicate that a significant amount of Dwemer power was located in the area, right? You don't find any unique armor or any unique weapons or anything to push you to the decision that this place was really important. Check out the war quarters. I generally don't check out the war quarters, but this place is it's interesting for lore reasons mainly, because apparently Blackreach got ruined before you see, it's very simple. Nobody's here. Yeah, so apparently there was an event called the War of the Crag, which its main setting was here in Blackreach. And the War of the Crag was a slave rebellion where the Dwemer fought against the Falmor slaves that they had been keeping. One of the last strongholds of the Dwemer force in the series was the war rooms. This is also a cool, unique thing. There are a lot of cool locations in this place. It is one of my favorite places. We're nearing the end of our journey, though, so we'll probably just grab the scroll and go on our way. I might have to come back here at some point, but to finish up the Nirnroot quest, they really don't want to put you guys through me finding all of the Nirnroot, which I could. Like, it's definitely not out of the question. At the same time, I just want to find some of the secrets that are hidden around here, because there are definitely secrets. Like, we've clearly found things from Legacy of the Dragonborn. Like, we've made our pass there. I'm betting there were some things from Morley down here as well. Just gotta find them. Apparently we can breathe underwater now because we have magic legs, so... Oh my god, and we are zipping. You doing okay, Tropical Spectre Fish? My god, look at us zip. Hey, it's a glass fish. Alright, I take it back. This reward is amazing. This reward is amazing because I'm super fast. I'm guessing that has something to do with the water. So the Derelict Pump House is one of the ones that leads into like I think this one leads into Ralphabar. Yeah, Ralphabar, the deep market. So if you come in here from Ralphabar, this is where you end up.
Your face would frighten
And you can tell because there's a lot of ore. Like, it does have a very Ralphabar feel to it. Ralphabar kind of felt like a market. Because it's the deep market, right? It's gotta feel like a market. And so you have the same, like, clerk's post where you have ores. The clerk would probably be sitting behind his desk and he would look at each of the ores and then be like, I'll give you this value for it, I'll give you this value for it. This is this grade, that kind of thing. This here will lead to the surface. We don't need to go to the end though. We still have things we need to find. So, Crimson Nernroot makes a sound like regular Nernroot. Pretty sure I heard some back there, but I'm not gonna go searching for it. So this is our goal. Back here is what's called the slave quarters. So it's like slave housing. And after the old overseer died, a type of zero seal to be discovered. Yeah, after the overseer died, the Falmer took it over. Which makes sense. We are almost at an hour too, so I'm just going to do a little bit more exploring and we'll cut it off when we reach the appropriate spot. I don't know, the series will probably survive for a little while longer. Yeah, but I'm a big fan of, hello. Good work. Skyrim's development team. They added in the new fish and they made some of them stationary. I too believe in stationary fish. We're gonna go out. Exploring is done. We've reached an hour. Time to save and time to say our farewells for the day. So, gonna have more magic tomorrow, and then after that, we'll see how far we go in the series. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. You know the deal. I'll see you next time.